Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your 2017-2018 Power Rankings Week 1. Yes, your commish is sick, but he's got backup from Deputy Commish here. He's got his green tea. He's got his thermometer. He's got his puffs, rags for his nose. He's got snot building up all through his body, okay? But we have the legal pad ready to go. Power Rankings Week 1. The highlights, at least for Week 1 right now, were Kareem Hunt on You're Gonna Get Kareemed. Absolutely dominated, was one of the only stellar performances in Week 1, and absolutely dominated that game, all because of Kareem. And then, let's just point out, Week 1 was a weird week. Lots of things going odd, lots of things going wrong. Let's just put it this way. The Chiefs beat the Pats, okay? No one expected that. No one predicted that kind of thing. And not only beat them, blew them out, okay? The Houston Texans, just weird stuff going on all over the place. Now, I want to put this out here right away. I disagree with power rankings during Week 1, but I know y'all wanted to see Deputy Commish in this video, and I'm sure y'all were waiting, okay, for this. I felt the demand. Even though I'm sick, I felt it. I'm prepared for it, okay? Let's talk real quick before we get started. Based on, these are what the power rankings are based on, the depth of your roster. That includes your starters and your defensive players, okay? Whoa, Deputy Commish, are you okay? Deputy Commish, all right, good. Roster, depth of your roster. Then points forced. And then your standings. Again, points forced and standings, hard to evaluate during Week 1. That's why we didn't do it. Before we get started, you know what? No. Hit it, girl. The music is loud. Let's turn that bad boy up. It needs to be up. I want to feel the vibe. I want to feel it. That sound means your power rankings are here. The types of sturdy trees is the tiers this week. Why? Because during a hurricane, you need sturdy trees, okay? There are only 3 trees in this. Let me turn this down just a tad bit. I can barely hear myself think. I think Hazel's losing her hearing. Okay, now, the first tier is the live oak tier. Now, this is the sturdiest of the trees. I did some research on this, okay? The sturdiest of the trees. That means this team will be the sturdiest, even though it's just Week 1, Category 1 Storm. Now, these are sturdy teams. There's only 2 in this tier, okay? Gronk, if you love Jesus, first place right now with 94 points forced. She is 1-0, and I love the depth on her team, okay? Then we're on to number 2. Number 2, You're Gonna Get Kareemed. Again, in the live oak tier, 94 points forced, 1-0. I'm nervous because without Kareem, he would have had 55 points. That's not a strong outing, okay? Now we're on to the second and largest tier. There it is, second and largest tier, the Sable Palm. The Sable Palm is a sturdy tree, but it will go down if pushed too much. Now, I think there are a lot of teams that are waving back and forth. Here we go, number 3, Cops and Rogers, 79 points, 1-0. Won despite every decent, just all of his players having decent performances. I'll give them some credit. That's depth that's spreading it out across the board. Then we're on to number 4, Golden Tate. 80 points, 1-0. His risk paid off with Ezekiel Elliott, okay? That's what happens when you take risk, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5, Super Mariota. Love the name. 76 points, 1-0. Win came down to the wire, but on that Monday night, she prevailed. Again, my prediction for the 2017-2018 champion will be Super Mariota. She performed well in a tight game, okay? Now, number 6, Le'Veon on a Prayer. Again, a good name. 74 points, 1-0. Won despite Le'Veon and Lacey with lackluster performances, okay? Struggling big time. I think they got 5 points out of both those players. Now, again in the Sable Bomb. Number 7, Ertz, I farted, okay? 77 points, 0-1. Best loss, for sure, has lots of depth, but they had his best loss, for sure. That's the best loss out of all of them. Now, number 8, Easy Breezy Season. 78 points, good loss again, 0-1. he will struggle finding his optimal lineup. Again, he will struggle finding his optimal lineup. He's got some good players on his bench. He's going to have to play around with it a little bit. Now, number 9, throws like a girly, okay? 0-1, struggled a little bit, 71 points forced. With Jay Ajayi, she would have won, okay? So let's just put it that way. Again, I like her roster. She may have a massive increase in week 2. Number 10, the last one in the Sable Palm. I almost took him out of the Sable Palm because he is very waving towards the end now. Mike Johnson's hurt, formerly known as That's My Johnson. Mike Johnson's hurt. 75 points, 0-1. The injury bug strikes again. If you can't remember, 2 years ago, had a very bad injury bug strike him, and he's having it again. Now onto the worst tier, the ones that will fall apart during a hurricane. The Weeping Willow. Everyone knows that in a Weeping Willow, it just gets torn to shreds. These two teams looked very bad in the first week, okay? Number 11, Dalvin and the Chipmunks, 67 points, 0-1. Good wide receiver depth, and Dalvin, strong, could make a big increase in week 2 with some of their performances. I do like where she's at for being in the bottom tier this week. Good job, Deputy Commish, holding it together. Now, number 12, let's stop the music here, right here. Number 12, absolutely disappointing and just gut-wrenching, embarrassing performance. The Commish, reigning champion, Roethlisberger helper, with a Weasley, 58 points. Okay, Weasley, not measly. 0-1, what an absolute embarrassing performance. The Hurricane hurt him because he had to regroup, because he had 4 players from either the Miami Dolphins or the Tampa Bay Bucks, but no excuses, okay? Zero confidence going forward right now. Let's just hope he does something. Let's hope he pulls something together, okay? He's sick. He's sick from his losses. He's sick from not seeing any of his teams play because of the stupid hurricane. He can't understand it, okay? Next week, matchups to watch out for. Husband and wife, Commish versus Madam First Lady. The Commish needs a big performance. Madam First Lady with Jay Ajayi back could just absolutely destroy him. Then, can Kareem pull off another crazy game and beat Justin? Who is, what's his name again? Justin is Copson Rogers. There you go. And then also, can Mike Johnson show that he's still a force to be reckoned with this week? Can he show it even though David Johnson possibly out for the entire year? Thank you, Deputy Commish, for acting like an absolute crazy lady throughout this whole thing. She is learning. She's progressing little by little, and she's going to be ready for the 2026 season. Signing off, Commish.